Know your weakness. A great military general once said, "I dare not invite conflict as a host, but always act as a guest. I hesitate to advance an inch and am quick to withdraw a foot." This is advancing by not advancing. It is winning without weapons. It is charging without rage. It is seizing without force. There is no mistake greater than making light of an enemy. Through overconfidence, we make ourselves vulnerable. When well-matched armies come to conflict, the one that is aware of its own weakness conquers. In chapter 69, the title, to me at least, jumps out as perhaps not completely accurate. It's titled, "Know Your Weakness." And I think that last word should be plural. Know your weaknesses. Understand the various ways in which each of us fall short. I've never met a perfect person. I'm not sure that one exists. If one does exist, please put your hand up. I have some questions. It's interesting to look at this idea, though, and say, if you do want to accomplish great things, if you want to live a better life, if you want to practice valuable acts and define better in your own life, in fact, it requires that you recognize where things are imperfect. It requires that you recognize where you are weak, where you are unable. This is a tremendous way to find allies, to find people to work with, collaborate with. It's also a wonderful way to recognize when you're going to get yourself in over your head and perhaps bite off more than you can chew. When we think of this from a human value perspective, we think of the idea that each and every single human being has value. And as a result, each and every person has the right to themselves, to their own life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. This chapter calls on us to ask a few important questions. Who are the greatest enemies of consent? They are, in all cases, individuals. There is no such thing as an independent collective. What motivates people who don't believe in respecting consent? What drives them to dismiss human value and equal rights? Those of us who believe that each person has rights, each person without exception has value, one of the weaknesses that we need to recognize, that we need to know, is that we are coming to the table with a tremendous disadvantage in terms of violent conflict. And we have a tremendous advantage in nonviolent conflict resolution. Capitalist force, in quotes, is an oxymoron. In capitalist interaction, exchange of value among consenting people, each person is free and safe saying no to someone else's version of happiness. It doesn't seem realistic to shoot toward an end goal that is the complete cessation of all disagreement. So long as we have differences in worldview and opinion, just basic differences in how we see the world, we're never going to have this static perfection. Far from being a negative, that's a positive. Thank goodness that we have so much incredible diversity and beauty, and each and every single person has their own way of solving problems that can allow us to overcome any obstacle that we face as a species. But also on an individual level, we're just never going to have a perfect situation free from any conflict. What we can do, however, is to apply in law the imperfect written code and system that we use to interact and adjudicate when things do go poorly, when disagreements do arise. We can put into the letter of our law respect for each and every single person's rights, an understanding of each and every person's value. And that is something that we can be tremendously excited about.